Hello, in this video I'm going to go over the monster set Valkyn Skoria. This is from the base game dungeon City of Ash 2, which is one of the bigger panes of dungeons for the base game at least. Very long dungeon. Um, so if you don't have this monster set or shoulders, the shoulders are not that big of a deal because you just get them from the Undaunted vendor. Um, but the dungeon itself you have to complete on vet in order to get the helmets. So in order to get the helmets, you'll have to do the veteran dungeon, or you can purchase them from uh, the golden vendor if it becomes available on the weekend in the golden vendor's inventory. And those are purchased with AP. But if you don't know where City of Ash is, you'll need to go to uh, sorry, I went into the wrong area there. The northeastern portion of Greenshade here, and you'll want to make sure that you go into part 2 if you're wanting to get Valkyn Skoria. If you do part 1, then you'll be getting the Infernal Guardian, which is a different monster set. Valkyn Skoria is in the City of Ash 2 dungeon, so make sure that you do select that correctly. You should be able to tell right away which one you're in. Part 1, you enter into the area that is basically on fire, and part 2, it has regrown and is somewhat green at the beginning of the dungeon. So keep an eye on that to make sure you're in the right dungeon. But to go into the transmute station here and cover City of Ash 2 and then show you what this looks like when you gold it out. Okay, so the one piece bonus is 1487 penetration. Really good stat to focus on penetration. Make sure that you are where you need to be for your build. For overland content, you want to be right around 9,000. For in dungeons, you'll want to be at 18,200 if in total through all of your buffs and debuffs and your build penetration. So keep that in mind. The second piece bonus, if you're wearing both pieces, is when you deal damage with a damage over time effect, you have an 8% chance to summon a meteor that deals flame damage to the target, and then some additional damage to nearby enemies that are within 5 meters of that. And this does scale with weapon and spell damage. So the thing to point out here is there is no cooldown on that. It is only the requirement that is 8% of a chance. So if you're doing a lot of damage over time, then you could have possibly several meteors flying. And we can test that here in just a minute. But this is a direct damage set that is procced by damage over time. So there's a little bit of a drawback there. Is you got to have some damage over time to proc it, but then you'll need to have some direct damage buffs to increase the damage that Valkyn itself does. So I'm just going to put some damage down right here on this crowd here, and we'll see if we can get some meteors to fall. As you can see, we're getting one there. There's another meteor. And you can hear, or feel rather, when the meteor is going to come because your controller will vibrate. And it's really easy to see the meteor because it comes from the sky above, and rather than just hitting your enemy. But as you can see, the meteor keeps falling down. And so that'll give you an idea of what that looks like. When these guys come back here, I will pull one of them aside and proc the set on its own. So you can see how it really looks just on its own. So we'll grab this guy here and we'll put him here. And I will just do, let's do just this spear here. That's a good one. You'll be able to see the meteor hit. It puts out a ring on the For some reason, it's not proccing on this guy. There we go. You can see the runes that hit the ground. We'll try it with a little bit bigger of a... We'll grab one of these bigger dummies and do it that way. Alright, so now we'll just do some damage over time with this one, since he's got a little bit bigger of a life bar. Here comes the meteor there. I'll see if I can just zoom in on it. There's the meteor there. You can see the runes that get put on the ground. So that's Valkyn Skoria in a nutshell. You'll have to make some considerations as to what type of build you'll want to run this on. Because it is procced by damage over time, then you're probably going to want to try to put this on a damage over time build, possibly with Ardent Flame to buff that up even higher for the flame damage. Keep that in mind. And then maybe also pair it with Gravelords from Necromancer to buff your damage over time skills that you are using to try and activate this. But that is basically what you're going to want to do, is try and pair this well with other sets that will complement activating it. And I know the sets cannot proc sets. I'm not talking about another 5P set, for example. I'm talking about the skill lines, the class lines that you use. For example, Rapid Rot is a passive that buffs damage over time. So if you need damage over time to proc this set, then you're obviously going to be using a lot of damage over time sets to activate this one. So that's what I mean by that. So that is Valkyn Skoria. I'm going to end the video there, but before I do, I'm going to call out my channel real quickly. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Go to my channel and check out my organized playlists. I have all my content organized by subject matter. If you go to my playlists on my channel and locate those there, you'll be able to find everything I've done on a certain subject. I've got a very large library of videos now, over 200 videos on the Elder Scrolls Online, as well as my featured playlist. I always like to call out my songs that I have written and created for this video game. I wrote the lyrics to all of them and created the visuals in the lyrics, or excuse me, the lyric videos. And so if you like them, please give them a listen. Listen to them as often as you want to. They are free to listen to. I've made them with AI programs as a tool, but I did write all the lyrics and create the imagery for them. So please keep that in mind. These are not just the click a button spam AI songs that you see on YouTube. These are songs that I wrote and created with my own input, basically. So with that in mind, I will close out the video. Thank you everybody for watching and subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.